Hey, I'm going to be doing a show review, and this time is for Mayhem 2011. I have to note that I didn't see all the bands. I missed three of them: Train the Martyrs, Upon the Burning Body, and Dirt Fit. So we'll start with the venue. It was at Scranton, PA, at the Toyota Pavilion at Montage Mountain, and the place itself very nice. I noticed from where I went last year to Mayhem, which was in New Jersey in Homedale, the PNC, that Scranton's theater had much less seating and much more of a general admission lawn, a bigger lawn. But nonetheless, it had a very nice look to it. And the only thing I didn't like was how tucked away the Jägermeister and Sumerian stage were. You had to go down a walkway and then all the way down was like an air run strip of road to get to the Jägermeister stage. So let's talk about the first band that was up. I missed one of the local bands, but nobody really cares. I heard a little bit of them. They sound like a heavier Pearl Jam with like Rob Zombie on vocals. They were okay. First band up was I the Breather. Now I have to also specify one with a friend of mine. He is a big I the Breather fan, and this was both our first time seeing them, and they were really good. I've heard of I the Breather before, but I never had like a chance to listen to their music, and they were surprisingly good. They played False Prophet, probably the only song I actually know by them, and very tight. The sound was excellent. I have to add that on the Jägermeister stage. Sound was perfect. Last year it was a little too loud, and the vocals kind of got cut out of the mix. This time everything was perfectly there, including the bass. Bass was nice, sharp. So yeah, solid performance by The Breather. Now the next band up, this was one I really wanted to see, was Whitechapel. As soon as they came on stage, you could just feel the energy about to blow. Then you heard those first few notes of Possession. The whole place just jumped the fuck up. Everybody was up, just down. It was great. Phil is an absolute beast of a vocalist, dude. Really just the energy, the thick double bass coming through. The drummers improved much since some of the videos I've seen him in with like pro shot footage. They played, unfortunately all the bands had to play a short set. They only played like 15 minutes. I would have loved to have seen Whitechapel even more. But they played like all the songs I knew except for like the last one, I Dementia. They played Possession, This Is Exile, Darkest Day Man, and I Dementia. And those were all really good songs. And by the time they left, I thought they were going to play Make It Bleed because I heard the piano intro. I was like, oh shit, they're going to play Make It Bleed. But unfortunately, no. But oh well. Either way, they did a really solid performance. Next band up was Devil Wears Prada. One of the first bands that were on the should be on Warped Tour. I heard them from afar. We kind of left to, get something to drink as it was really fucking hot for most of the day. I could hear them from afar. I knew like they played. The only songs I knew they played were Survivor and Danger Wild Man. Those sounded pretty decent live. I mean, they definitely were a big crowd pleaser. A good proportion of fans for the GA at the main theater were usually Devil Wears Prada or Asking Alexandria fans. Oh well. Next band up was As I Lay Dying. I hadn't listened to As I Lay Dying in years. This is my first time actually listening to them in a live setting. It was great. They played all the songs I remembered from them. Like I said, sound was perfect. The cleans really got through great. They had a fantastic energy. People went nuts for them. They played Anatomy C, Confined, 94 Hours, and then they were able to play one more song, which was one of my personal favorites, Sound of Truth. It was just fantastic. They played a really tight set, some really great moments in there, some great pitting. All in all, just a kick-ass show. Next up, the headliner for the Jägermeister stage. They played about 45 minutes, I would say, roughly. We're close to an hour. Anthrax. I really wanted to see what Anthrax would do live because I've seen a lot of cool live videos where they kind of have almost that really punk mentality, and they played a very tight set and very. They didn't pull out any crazy stuff. I mean, they didn't play any of their '90s material, but they played songs like Indians, Madhouse, Antisocial, a new song off Worship Music 5 Until It Can, which sounded really good live. That was one of the songs I really enjoyed from them. Joey's vocals were great. He had a great energy, really wanted to get the crowd going. Unfortunately, most of everybody was either hot as fuck, tired, or just, dead. But also at the time it looked like it was going to rain, so nobody wanted to, see what would happen. But all in all, oh yeah, this fucking sunburn. That's what I get for not applying anything and trying to see every band. But yeah, they were just really tight. Anthrax definitely deserved to be a headliner for the stage. They did a fantastic job. It's nice to see another one of the big four there. So now came for the main stage. Now me and my friend missed half of Asking Alexandria's set, which was a good thing. By the time we got there, they had 2 songs left. The only song I knew just by its name was Mortal Kundo, because I heard from another reviewer when he did a review of how the set of the lineup this year. He said about how the song was about you're Satan, you're killing God. Personally, to me, I think that's kind of childish, but I have to check the lyrics. The thing is, it can be something completely outrageous as that, but as long as it has a decent lyricalism, okay, they make the concept work for that song. But they really weren't that good. The main thing I noticed is that they tried to implement basically everything off their new album, I guess, because a lot of it sounded really like deathcore. Another problem is that the whole GA down there's like a little pit, was going nuts for them, which sucked because I thought that'd be filled with fucking Slayer or Slipknot or even Motorhead fans. But all in all, they really didn't impress me. They've been getting heavier, but here's what I see. Just because you're heavy, it doesn't mean you're better. Being heavy, for me, if you're going to get heavier, you have to progress in your songwriting and song ideas. They haven't done that. They've really just stuck to a very breakdown-oriented, very bland form of deathcore or metalcore, depending on your pick. Literally, fuck them. They were the worst band of the day, dude. There was nothing appealing about their set. Even Devil Wears Prada was more appealing just because, at least there was 1 or 2 songs that I knew from them that were decently enjoyable. And that brings us to one of the main bands, the surprise band that everybody knew, Motorhead. This is a classic speed metal band. Band's been going for some 40-some years, and they still are fucking chugging along. They played a really tight set. Basically all the songs you would guess by them, no like hidden track favorites, but all the songs you knew them, Kill by Death, Ace of Spades, stuff like that, Overkill. They really did a tight set, and they were really fun to watch. Lemmy, unfortunately, I had this with Dave Mustaine, where his vocals were a little bit hard to hear. But all in all, just a really good set. Definitely some really good soloing there, and just a really enjoyable live band, especially for close to midnight. Next band up, the co-headliner, Slayer. This was huge this year when they got announced with Slipknot, as a lot of people were saying the best co and headliner combined, the co and the head. I'd say that too. I mean, they were really tight. When Slayer got on stage, they had an awesome stage show. They had like fucking amps that were like in the shape of inverted crosses with pyro hooked through them. That was amazing. Then they had the Slayer symbol, the eagle that was on fire. The first song up was Disciple, and just the whole place went fucking crazy. Just that was really fucking good. They played actually really good mix. I mean, they played a lot of their really speedy material, but for their slower songs, Dead Skin Mask, Mandatory Suicide, South of Heaven, Season of the Abyss, they put those perfectly in sessions, so, after a few speedy songs, they put in a slower, more melodic song. They kind of, breaks it up evenly, gives you something a little bit more refreshing. The lights were the only really problem I had with the lights were a little bit too, they were trying to do the seizuring shit way too much. Gary Holt of Exodus, I believe, who's filling in for Jeff Hanneman, is a great guitarist. He has a lot of energy live. I mean, he's just like picking up his axe, story souls, fucking holding like this, getting really close to the crowd, really headbanging. Kerry King, he's got that kind of face. He's just fucking ripping it up there. Tom, I wish he could headbang again, but unfortunately not. But he did a great job. His bass work was really solid. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't really hear it in their set. So they very much played a great set, but by the end of the night, I felt like I was going into hell, especially with the last 3 songs, Angel of Death, South of Heaven, and especially Raining Blood. You felt like you were being dragged into the abyss itself. And basically they were probably the best man of the day so far there, but then we all waited patiently, and out of nowhere, fucking Slipknot comes out. The first song they played was fucking sick, and the place just fucking exploded. I have to mention this again. The GA section, or the general admission, down this little pit, did nothing. It was filled with fucking AA fans, and they just couldn't really, they didn't do anything. They barely moved for Motorhead. They moved a little bit more for Slayer, for the few Slayer fans that were there. And Slipknot, they were kind of back to the Motorhead stage. But yeah, Slipknot went on. It was fantastic. The best band of the night, probably one of the best performances I've ever seen. You know, this is a band that a lot of my generation, once they start to get into heavy metal, this is the first band they hear because it's one of the most popular. It's not a bad band either. I mean, they fucking put on a great performance. It's like seeing a Broadway show made of chaos. Clown's just on his drums banging away. DJ Starscream, I'm using his code name, just fucking jumped on Clown's set and started trying to rip, almost like he was trying to rip it apart and hanging from the rafters. Jumped all the way down from was at full max top. Corey sounded great. His screaming, his vocals, his harshes are just in your face, aggressive. Jim was also back. I was really hoping to see him that night, and he came back. He had great energy. Mike was just fucking... He's the only one with real long hair there. And he's just fucking banging it away, dude. Really tight. They basically played, like with Slayer, all the most well-known songs. Though they did pull out one song that I know recently hasn't been played since fucking 2002. And that was Gently. And Gently, they really made that song feel fucking... That song was scary just to fucking hear, dude. They had like this dust, like this trail of almost like snow or dust. It kind of had in the beginning like a mournful field. The Slipknot logo that was in the back on a banner had almost looked like it was being burnt up. It had those burn marks on it. Corey comes out, you hear those samples in the back. You just hear Gently singing, and just these fucking heavy, thunderous riffs come through. It was truly a terrifying song to listen to. Just very atmospheric and very fucking heavy. They played, you know, Psychosocial Sulfur. Before I forget, one of my personal favorites I was hoping to hear, Vermilion. They played that perfectly live. I mean, the only major complaint I have about their sound was some of the soloing I couldn't really hear. But the place was just in unison. It was great. They had a little quick memorial to Paul, and that was really cool to see. Then they did Duality, which was great. I mean, they got the whole place singing for that. We left before the last two songs because I can only imagine trying to get out of that place with fucking a million other people. But they had Spit It Out and People Equal Shit. Those are both great songs. We left midway through Spit It Out, so unfortunately I didn't get to participate or see the Crazy Test, though I could hear it from far. And then, also from the far, I heard People Equal Shit, another fucking heavy song by them. That sounded great. So all in all, I have to say this was a really good year. Definitely this main stage was better than last year. I mean, last year was very bland. It had Godsmack and Disturbed, which really weren't too great. But the combination of Slipknot and Slayer is just awesome. I mean, they put on great performances. The theatrics were amazing for both bands. The pyro was really fucking cool. Slipknot topped Slayer, and just the overall just the chaos that was going on stage with both bands equally played a fantastic set.